Marshall, I'll do it right now. But I want some lovin's too. You can apply your conditions to it. You can deal with them. Don't think they're making orders. Don't think it's a command or a demand. All it is an offer. And if it seems like more than an offer, the fundamental, the foundation of their offer is for you to accept their offer, to agree that they have the power to order you. Questions? I see you thinking. This entire game that you are playing with them is about conflict. Can I get you in conflict? If I can get you in conflict with your fellow man, one of you are in dishonor. Imagine some people here are parents, I'm sure you got a couple of kids, they're playing out in the yard. You hear a big brouhaha, you run out to investigate, you find one kid's got mud all down his back. The other kid's got mud all over his hands. Who started the fight? It's pretty simple and easy to see, the guy with the dirty hands. What they will get you to do is to deal with things that create conflict, and once you're in that conflict, you're going to be in conflict in dishonor. Let's say you get a parking ticket or you get a violation ticket. You end up going to court for it. They are not concerned so much with what you did at that point that is getting you into court. They're more concerned with what did you do in that 30-day period. There's a very good reason they don't charge you and bring you to court 2 days later. You've got 30 days grace. You've got 30 days to offer amends. 30 days to apologize, find peace with your fellow man. If you do that, the court has nothing to say. And if you don't do that, because those 30 days went by and you made no offers, guess who's in dishonor? And then it doesn't matter what it's all about. All the judge has to look at is who is in dishonor. In order to avoid conflict, what we are going to do, we accept everything. Everything they want to give you, I accept that and I love you for it. Thank you very much. But with my conditions attached to it. If you accept every offer they make, how can they take you to court? They can't. If you're accepting everything they offer, they have no reason to claim conflict. A lot of times what you're going to be dealing with are parking tickets, things like this. You'll get notices on your door, you'll get stop work notices. They'll hit you with a notice. A notice is in effect an offer which you can't refuse. If you do, you'll go into dishonor. But here's a funny thing about a notice. A notice has to be understandable. It has to be clear, concise, and understandable, and unequivocal. That's it. If they hit you with a notice, like when I was working with Here on Earth, they hit us with a notice, I took this down, and you can discharge a notice by seeking clarification. Yeah, I got your notice, but I see this word, and I don't know what you mean by that word, so please answer this. What does this word mean? What does this word mean? What does this word mean? Thank you, I'm happy to talk with you. You discharge their notice, and what they want you to do is ignore it and go into dishonor. We went in there, we followed the process, got a letter back. We're withdrawing this. This is their trick. You get a little parking ticket. They are notices. This is not a bill. You can't take this and pay. This is just a notice giving you information, telling you there's something you should pay attention to. So what do? We're going to accept it. We write a little letter. We say, look, I noticed your notice, and here's my notice noticing your notice, and I hope you notice my notice noticing your notice, because now we're in discussion. I accept your notice. I accept that there's something there. Now, what would a bank do? A bank isn't going to go waste their time fighting in court for 40 bucks. No. What do? You accept it. And then you become the administrator. And you tell them, look, I'm more than happy to pay you. You're apparently claiming I owe you money. I'm the administrator here, and I will settle this account as administrator. But first, I have to do a little verification. Hey, I mean, you don't want me paying off a bill without actually seeing the bill. I have to verify this debt. So please send me a bill. Please send me a bill that's going to have a signature on it. When you're done sending me that, I want to see the contract, the lawful two-party contract supporting that bill. If you can't show me that, stop asking me for money. If once you do that, you get it to a point, what you will end up getting, they call a remittance, the final notice, your final notice, you must pay this. If you look on that envelope when you open it up in the lower corner, they call it a remittance. They want you to take this remittance and send it in with the check, say for $40. Here's the thing, if this was a bill, why do they want it back? When's the last time you ever paid a bill and then had the person who presented you with the bill demand that bill back? You pay the bill so you can keep it and say, I don't owe you anything anymore. But they want it back. What's a remittance? I looked it up. A form of money. It's money. It's sent by one merchant to another, either in bill of exchange, check, specie, or otherwise. They have sent you a piece of paper worth $40. But they messed up because the word that they put on it is amount, not value. What you are going to do is you are going to take that little remittance. Imagine for a moment, this is what they're doing, I think. Imagine you want someone to come over and cut your grass. So you hire a company to come cut your grass, and then he's halfway through cutting your grass. You realize you're a stockholder in that company. And you realize that as a stockholder, you have the right just to sign his check. He can give you the bill, you'll sign it, give it back to him. He can take that to the accountant in the company and get paid the $40 for cutting your grass. But it's going to have a negative effect on your stock. It's coming out of your stock. So what if you decide, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take that route. I'm not going to devalue my stock. I'm just going to give you a check for cutting my grass. But what you've done now is you've given him two pieces of paper. Each one is worth $40. This $40 check does not cancel out the $40 remittance. The $40 check is what they're charging you to do the administration on your remittance. They sign it on your behalf. They send that off. They're getting paid twice. All you have to do is take that remittance, put value across it, assign value to it, accept it for value, send it off to them. They can now it's money. Now you've valued it. You've treated it like a remittance as a species of money, and you're done. And we've been doing this, and we've even got them on tape acknowledging that you can do it. We've got a peace officer acknowledging that we always have this option when dealing with these things. If you look on those tickets, they'll tell you payment instructions, dispute instructions. So you can pay or you can dispute. If you choose the dispute route and you go in there, they'll give you a piece of paper and it says right on it, date dispute was created. Dispute created by. You created dispute. You never offered discussion. You never offered anything. You jumped right into the dispute and now you're in dishonor. Whether or not you win in court doesn't really matter. You're in court in dishonor. All you had to do was accept what they give you, say, I value that, there you go, take it back. Now how can you do this? How can you just take a remittance and assign value to it? Oh, the value, how can you do that? Look, who's got their birth certificates on them right now? Pull it out and look at the back of your birth certificate. On the back of that birth certificate, you will find a number. It's a bond tracking number. The government generated and floated a bond when you were registered as a child. This bond generates revenue every year. The Federal Minister of Finance is acting as your fiduciary agent in trust over your account. When's the last time you told him what to do with your money? Never. So his obligation then is under the Financial Administration Act. His obligation is to transfer it to a registered representative. That's your provincial representatives. They do this every year in the form of the federal transfer payments. Part of what they're transferring, part of what your federal representatives are transferring to your provincial representatives is money generated from your bond, and they have no right to touch that money whatsoever if they're not acting as your representative. You are going to tell them, look, you want payment for this ticket? That's fine. Go take it from this transfer